hottest in the game, ready to ignite. Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright. Caffeine rush fueling his creativity inside. Got a YouTube channel where he's shining so bright. MTG3, the show that takes flight. He's a lyrical beast, spitting fire with every bite. Black metal flow, pounding beats to insight. No one can stop him, he's on a meteoric height. Super fast, tallest, the champion of the fight.
Good morning, hope you're up. Enjoy that coffee in your cup. Good morning from the shelf. Super fast, tallest, done so well. Sit back, relax, time to chillax. Face the facts, morning coffee show intact. Let's enjoy the show, let's enjoy the flow. Morning coffee is the best. Chatting with friends, we are blessed. Due to the mood, coffee for every dude. Have fun, enjoy the show. Let this channel grow. Let's enjoy the show. Morning coffee is the best. Chatting with friends, we are blessed. Due to the mood, coffee for every dude.
Hey.
Hey. We got a handsome group of people here. We got Hillbilly Tapal and Hill Wheeler. What's up?
What's up? Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, click the wrong button. Hello.
Woo-hoo, that's right.
We're here.
We were having an interesting conversation in the background. I'm like, that could be an interesting starter conversation of the day is selling on TCG Player. Like, what are some tips and advice? That's pretty cool. If someone wants to get in on the action, Paul was explaining that, if you like losing out on money, sell 10-cent cards.
That's right. That's right. Because I know somebody else that's in the room here with me that will deliberately go through your store and pick out all the cards for a penny or under $1 just to fill up her cart, just to get that free shipping.
That's funny.
Well, everyone wants the free shipping.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It can be challenging.
I'm that kind of person, right? I'm the kind of person who will go through a cart, fill it up with all the cards I can. Because I'm the kind of person, if you give me $20 to spend, I'm going to try to maximize that $20 profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
To the person that's selling, it's a good idea to have a wide variety of things in there, though, because while all of us are bargain shopping, a lot of times people will try to get as much as they can from a single seller.
Right.
Too.
Especially on TCG Player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's easier to make one order from one person and get one package than
sure.
to make 3-4 different ones, and you got all these things coming out your bank account you're trying to remember, and then you got 3-4 different packages all arriving, which is great for package day. You're like, yay, I've got more post, and you open up, it's like, oh yeah, it's one card.
Then you've got to do the feedback thing, or hopefully you do the feedback thing and support them, and then you got to go find all those people that you bought stuff from. So
yeah, if you can do it from one, that is the ideal.
Right. Well, I like it. I like it that when I last ordered off TCG Player, I was able to go through Dark Ritual and just find all the cards I was looking for on his website, and now I know all the cards are going to be shipped in one package.
Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you the story about TCG Player. I went on there looking for cards. Before I went to Dark Ritual, I just went on there just to see what would happen. Ended up with like 12 packages. And a lot of them was like one card here, one card there. And I'm like, geez, that's a lot of packages just for one card.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, the heck with that. Yeah, so I said, the heck with that. I went to Dark Ritual.
Yeah, I remember the first time I shopped TCG Player, I didn't know how it worked. And I had, at that time, like $40 worth of cheap cards. That's a lot of cards, right?
That's a lot of cards.
This was years ago. And when I went to the order, the shipping was like $23 because it's coming from different people and locations.
Each one. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why it stayed away from. That's what kept me away from TCG Player for a while. But then with Tibalt and Anger Collections, and they have their own stores, and you can shop a single store for cards. No, you can shop a single store on TCG Player. It's worth it because one, TCG Player is pretty cheap compared to the rest of the group. But if you get from one store, shipping is going to be pretty cheap.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and like as an international person, shipping is always an absolute nightmare. So if I can cut that down in any way, although I don't think Tybalt, your
I don't ship internationally, unfortunately,
exactly.
yet. I'm
So yeah, I
gonna be
think every time
changing
I've
some
tried
things.
looking at your page, it doesn't show anything, and
Yeah,
that's fair enough. It's understandable because it is such a large one. If somebody's only buying one card and you're shipping it internationally, I bought a $1 card off you. Now you're spending $20 to ship it.
right.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
The biggest problem actually isn't necessarily the shipping, it's the service that I get at the post office.
Oh yeah,
That's the
the
problem. I would love
shipping
to ship
can be
internationally, but
acceptable. You
that
can accept the price of shipping. It's the trusting of the post office and the postal service to safely get the package from point A, and
good point.
especially with me, which means it's got to go to an airport, then it's got to come to another airport, then it's got to go to another postal service. There's a lot of postmen that you're hoping is not going to throw your package about, not going to lose it.
Yeah, a lot of
Exactly.
handling, shipping and
Yeah.
handling.
Oh
For
So there's
yeah.
a
sure.
lot of chance of it getting misplaced. So I totally understand why people don't do international shipping. It is an extra faff. And I know Tuffy's been ever so kind and replaced an order before that has got lost.
Mm.
And that's obviously coming out of his own pocket.
Mhm.
And look, not to dog down on international shipping. I've had stuff shipped to me from the Netherlands from Savannah Lions. I had a big package that came in one time that had some gamer magazines for like Magic the Gathering magazines, like Scryfall. I don't think it was Scryfall though. It was the other one.
Duelist or Inquest?
Yeah, Inquest.
Inquest.
Yeah, Inquest magazines. Inquest magazines are on my. But like they came here, then this year he surprised me with a Christmas card, from the Netherlands. The
Cool.
Netherlands. So
Oh, international shipping is definitely possible.
yeah.
But I do see why some people choose not to take that risk. Especially if you don't have it in you to be able to, recoup things if it does get lost or whatever, either return the money to the sender or give them something alternative as an apology.
Yep.
Yeah.
pretty decent. But back on track a little, TCG Player. Is it worth it to sell on TCG Player? What do you think?
No. It depends.
I was
I'm
just
gonna
about to say he
say
makes his life on it a bit, doesn't he? Surely it has some purpose, and he just comes out with a flat nope.
it's got exactly. It does have some purpose, and it's got to be right for you, and it's got to be right. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes down to doing that.
Mhm.
I didn't mean to monopolize the topic today or whatever. But since you asked, I've been playing for like 30 years.
Right.
So on and off. So I have a ton of chaff laying around, not just chaff, but I mean good medium cards, a lot of fair cards. So we started talking actually even before we were on air about this. And the sweet spot for cards for me personally is between $5 and $10. If I can find cards that are good, that are about $5 to $10 worth about that, it's worth it for me to put those in the store.
Right.
Actually, though, I mean, I sell everything from a $1.25 card on up.
Right.
But when I'm sending a $1.25 card, I'm almost sending it to somebody for free. But that's neither here nor there. If you need that card, you need that card. I'm going to get it to you.
Right. Because people don't think about that $1.25 card. You're getting a cut taken out from TCG Player, and plus you're paying for the stamp for the package.
Yeah. Plus the envelope, and it seems silly, but all that stuff adds up. The rubber stamp that has my return address on that I'm going to have to get another one since I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
There's other little things that I throw in there too, the stickers and so on. And I mean, those, I throw those in because they want, just because they want them as shipping shields, these costs, all that stuff adds up. So For a casual person that wants to sell a dozen cards, it probably doesn't make sense to do it. For me, that I've got 3,000 cards or so, 2,000 cards up, it does make sense.
Makes sense.
Dollars
Putting
and cents.
stickers in sounds a really nice idea. I've got to
Yeah.
get myself some stickers.
They're reasonable, and yeah, they're kind of fun just to give away and stuff. When I go to the stores and stuff, I do that. But as far as that goes, also, there's a small little 5-minute video that I have up that tells you a little bit about what to get ready to, if you're going to do it in a serious manner. I save a lot of time. Recently, somebody bought from me recently, and I had their order done within the next, within probably from the time I got to the computer, it probably took me 15 minutes or less to gather half a dozen or a dozen cards together. But it's because I had pre-stamped envelopes, pre-packed with cool stickers in there, a business card, and so on, ready to go.
That's pretty cool.
My process is I print out the packing slip. I print out 2 packing slips. I won't show you this packing slip, but because that has people's address on it, but it tells me exactly which cards I've got. I go to my filing system and grab the cards, pull the cards. I really don't talk about this, but I'm going to mention it here. I generally will qualify it. I generally throw in an extra card or 2, nothing too extravagant necessarily, but I'll throw in an uncommon or maybe a rare that I have here. Sometimes it goes with a theme that somebody seems to be putting together if I check their list. I'll throw that in there into the shipping sleeve, pack all that up, make sure the envelope is sealed. I've got cool D&D stickers that I put on there right now.
Cool.
It used to be just Buzz Lightyear, not stickers, I should say stamps. It used to be the Buzz Lightyear one, but this past year, our post office did D&D. Oh, you can't see any of the stuff, can you? Oh, there it was.
Nibble's gone.
I disappeared. Anyhow, I put a stamp on there, try to find fun stamps to put on there, and then I reply to the person. Now, I've been told by some people that maybe this is overkill, but I know what it's like when I order stuff. And so I always send a message out to the person letting them know that I've received their order, I've packed their order, and it's going to be in the mail the next day.
Nice.
That's because I know it's frustrating. It can be frustrating when you're buying a bunch of cards too. People don't always, most people don't get back to you. You don't know. You kind of just throw your money out there and you hope you get them. And then a month or so later, hey, there's a sexy guy. They, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, or hopefully it's not that long, but you'll get your cards in the mail. And then sometimes you have to go back and like, wow, if I ordered from 10 different people, like, did I get all those cards? It can be a challenge to stay on top of. So I like to reply to somebody and let them know that I personally have received their order. I've packed the order and it's on its way. And since I'm a one-man show, it's easy for me to do right now.
It's those small things you take for granted, and things like Amazon and your Deliveroo, when you place an order and then it updates saying, yes, the restaurant has received your order. They are preparing your order. Your driver is there. Your driver's on the way. It's the small things that the big companies just kind of have set up as an automated thing that you forget for smaller companies and smaller people that this is something that has to be done manually. But it is something that you appreciate having those updates.
Right. The nice thing too is when I send the cards out is generally, and I ask, and I'm genuinely curious about what people are doing with the cards that I send them. I know some of the cards that I sent out recently are going to get used against me. You
don't have fine print saying I will not sell any cards that are then used against me.
That I need to add that. I need that caveat in there to make sure. But I'm always curious, because that's my biggest thing with just when Tybalt's Apprentice started. Initially, it was going to be me talking to other people, examining the first 5 or first 7 cards of a hand and what people would play. And the decision tree in Magic gets so wide after that, you couldn't go much further than that. But I'm always interested, because I know how I think. Nobody else seems to understand it, but That's okay. I know how I think, so I'm always interested in what other people are thinking or doing and stuff. So that's why I like
I
to talk
know
to people.
several people. Like I've got bundles off Facebook of just people getting rid of Pokemon cards and things, and I know a lot of them are very happy to know that the cards are going to a collector, a good home, rather than just being bought as a bulk thing from someone and then randomly sold on.
Right. Yeah.
And I sold a mass load of Yu-Gi-Oh, which we were just at the end point going, I just need this out. I don't care almost how much I get for it. We need these gone. But it was interesting. What's someone going to do with these 2,000 odd cards? And the guy actually told me, which was really nice. And he said he was making he's going to do it as a wallpaper all over his kid's bedroom. And I thought,
Oh, that's cool.
that's an awesome idea. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what the cards are. He's got a bulk of a mass load of cards for a decent price, and you get a whole wallpaper, which was awesome.
Oh,
that's
we
true.
got Mrs. Hillbilly in chat. What's up?
Hey.
All right. So, good topic, good question of things to go by. I mean, if anybody wanted to learn a little bit more about that stuff, that's pretty cool. If you can find that video, Tabal, of you talking about how to start a TCG player, you could post that in chat.
Oh, yes, I could. Yes, I could.
Cool.
But with that, my friends, we got to hit this little button right here that takes us to this bumper.
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright.
Well, that was a fun thing to talk about. I actually enjoyed it. Maybe next time, if we talk about it, we'll get we'll have a whole topic dedicated to it. But we got off track from where we're going and had a blast. We need to get on track to the topic of the day, but there's a certain path that we follow. And this path leads us to places. And the first path starts with the segment of the day. Only Hillbilly knows. Actually, you know what? Hillbilly knows what it is. Hillbilly.
I do. Are you sure? Let's think. Is it the card of the day?
Card of the day.
Card of the day.
This is the card that inspired me to continue with the TCG player conversation. The name of it.
Yes.
Nice.
Indeed.
I actually need a couple copies of this card for a couple decks, but one copy mainly for one deck. Horn of Greed costs 3 generic. It's an artifact. It says whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card. I have a deck that wants to poop out lands so quick, and I want to draw those cards so I can poop out more lands.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting card.
Are you scared of the fact that it gives your opponents advantage?
No, if I'm playing more lands than them.
Exactly. That's, I think, what a lot of times people get scared when they see that other people are going to benefit from it. But if you've built around it, this is horrible. But what if you put a dingus egg out there? Remember that card? Every time a player plays a land, they take 2 damage.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I can't quite remember how cards work. Is an artifact one that you play and it'll stay on the field?
Yeah, that stays on the field. Yeah. It's a permanent that stays on the field.
It's not a one-turn sort of thing.
Right. No, exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are helping potentially your opponent at the same time. Yeah.
But if you plan for it and you put the right cards in there, it may wind up hurting them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But see, I've played a long time ago. I played a mono green Eldrazi deck that had Horn of Greed in it, and the person I was playing against was playing so many lands or drawing so many, couldn't keep up with their draw rate, even though I was drawing cards off the lands. So the line dropped back, Yeah. So Horn of Greed is powerful in its own right. It's still like a $7-8 card.
Wow.
Nice.
So if I could get a copy of this later on, I would definitely play it in my Eldrazi deck because I need it. I need that draw power because draw power in Commander is very important.
Yep. I learned that lesson.
And actually, I misspoke. Dingus egg is when you put them in the graveyard that they do damage. That's what I was thinking of. But there's another one that when you play a land, it takes damage. I can't think of the name of it now.
I know there's a black card that does that. It's from Planar Chaos era. And it says whenever an opponent plays a land, whenever an opponent plays a land, they would take 2 damage.
Yeah.
They lose life. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a black creature, can't think of the name of it, but every time you play a swamp, you do damage to your opponent.
Ooh.
Evil Presence or one of those that, you can either turn it into a card draw for you or damage for them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. 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 Well, our friend KJ is just responded to me. He said he's feeling sick as a dog. I hope he starts feeling better and gets over that. And whatnot.
Man. Yeah, get well, dude.
Get well.
Get better. Get better.
All right. So that was a card of the day. Now let's get some pictures of the day. Now, 2 of these pictures I scoured off Facebook or Google. And the next 2 pictures after those I created myself for today. Because I like getting creative. When life sucks, but your coffee cheers you up. That's the basic.
Yep.
I mean, isn't this just a bit dark as well? Because that coffee is being happy to be drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Drink me! End my existence. It can be
Right.
consumed.
It served its purpose. It's
True.
made
I mean,
somebody's day better.
Everyone wants to go out having fulfilled their life.
That's
and this
right.
coffee has done that.
Your coffee has done that. It's happy that it's being utilized for energy.
Yep.
Yep. The next picture of the day. The day without coffee is like, just kidding. I have no idea. That's a picture of me with chubby, furry, holding a cup of coffee all the time. Yeah. Cat has some pretty eyes, though.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, the next picture, like I said, I created. I had fun with this. The last time I skipped coffee, the cops were called.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm. And AI, it might take a couple times to make some fun-looking Muppets or monsters.
I was going to ask you what the prompt you were using.
Yeah, I did a Muppet with colorful hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just ask for a Muppet. And do you know what Muppet, what the word Muppet comes from?
Yes, it's a stimulated between puppet and marionette.
That's right.
Yep.
See, I knew I was hanging out with the right people.
I watched that documentary too.
Ah.
Yeah. So I love Muppets, and I love the Muppet Show, and I love Sesame Street when I was a kid. It's fun to learn how those things worked.
Yep.
Yeah. The next picture. Boop, boop. So I need strong enough for the chaos in my head.
Phyrexian coffee?
Right. Right. Because, it's like sometimes we wake up and our heads are filled with the dreams that we're having. Sometimes we have nightmares and stuff, or sometimes we're stressed because of the day before, and we need coffee to kind of reset that. That's why I made this meme. I'm like, I need coffee strong enough for the chaos in my head, because sometimes, a lot of time, coffee helps calm the brain.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, the prompt came out well. The picture, but it wasn't exactly what I was going for, because I was trying to make the coffee spilling out and becoming the monster. This one just shows a little weird monster and the coffee spilling out.
Well, it kind of looks like that monster's trying to take that coffee away from him.
Could be
stealing the
part of that morning chaos.
It's going to be assimilated, perfected.
Right, but I like it. I like the picture enough. I'm like that's still a good picture. Actually, like each of these prompts I had to do a couple times because like twice because like the first picture had like 4 fingers on one hand and 3 fingers on the other. And I redid the prompt, and it's like, oh, we fixed the finger issue.
That's the one thing about AI. It has a really tough time understanding the human body.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
that's pretty
the unhuman body.
You're
or
right.
Inhuman body.
That's right. But I think they turned out pretty cool. The pictures, the little memes. Yeah.
Yep.
And what I started doing, I don't know if you noticed, like I highlight certain words in them, just because like if you barely glance at it, you like skipped word. You're like, skipped word? What? The last time I skipped coffee, the cops were called. Oh, I highlighted the verbs.
Nice.
And then this one, coffee chaos.
Coffee chaos.
Yeah. There's no direct method to it, but it's fun. It's fun highlighting the words that you're getting across. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, those are the pictures of the day. Now we got a question segment. Question segment is brought by Discord. Now, if you have a picture of the day or a question of the day, you're subscribed and you're part of Discord, you can share on Discord your pictures of the day, right? Like, I forgot this picture right here. Boop, 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 boop. Where is it? Like, Decayed Zombie shared a picture, which I don't understand why the picture was shared. But Magic the Gathering Ranked was shared by Decayed Zombie. It's a cool picture. I like the picture in the artwork. I don't know if it's AI generated or not, or edited. It looks AI generated with the cards on it, like how they're all weird.
Yeah.
I guess he's going for ranked or something. But Decayed Zombie shared it. And see, Decayed Zombie got shouted out because of that picture. You can get shouted out for sharing a picture of yourself. Not yourself, but like sharing a picture of yourself on Discord. Yep.
So you want to see a picture of ourselves?
Yeah.
That's okay too.
Start
better yet, do a question of the day.
All right, do question of the day. Question of the day is brought to you by Discord.
Presented by Discord. We have the question of the day.
The question of the day is brought to you by yours truly. Let's see what I asked.
Super Fast Tortoise here with the question of the day. The question of the day is, what is the way you look for magic cards online? Like, how do you find magic cards online for decks? Let's go.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like there's a lot of new people when I meet them online or in store or something. People are like, how do you find cards for decks? Like I go on to the Gatherer and I can't always find cards I want, or I go on to EDH Rec, I can't always find the cards I'm looking for or type of cards. And I'm like, well, it's very tricky. Like when I look for a card, like, or maybe I'm looking for a theme. Let's put it that way. I'm looking for a theme, like a discard theme. Like I'm trying to get someone to discard things, which I should probably build a deck like that in the future. In Google, I'll type in like MTG, target player discards a card, and the Gatherer will show up with all the cards that have that text in the card.
Oh,
so the Gatherer will show me all these cards, and so I look for the cards with like extra abilities or cheap costs or that just fit the theme. Then, if I'm discarding cards, this is how my brain works. So I'm discarding cards. I'm thinking about reanimation, because what if I have to discard a card myself? Because some spells say each player discards a card. So I'm like, well, if we're discarding cards, how do I get these cards back? Like, if I'm playing spells that make people discard cards, maybe I'm looking for cards that give a spell flashback in my graveyard, or let me bring back an instant sorcery card from my graveyard. So maybe that's pushed me in different colors. So maybe my commander will change, right? Because like Snapcaster Mage is blue and discard is usually a black thing, right? So if I do blue-black, maybe I'll start looking for commanders, and I'll put in blue-black type, like something that deals with the graveyard, blue-black, and start looking for commanders that way off Google. And Google usually sends out links, like the most prominent links, where they're like, here's the top search for that. Maybe you want to check this out. And sometimes it takes you to EDH Rec, sometimes it takes you to Scryfall, sometimes it takes you to other places. You know, it's interesting.
What about you, Hillbilly? When you look for cards, how do you find them?
Yeah.
Well, first I go to friends because I don't know all the cards, what I need and everything, but I'll go to friends, and then I'll after that I will go and search Card Kingdom, the TCG player. Then after that, if I still not satisfied, I'll go to a friend's store if they have a store such as Dark Ritual.
Product placement. Today's episode sponsored to
I'm
you
feeling
by...
guilty. I'm so embarrassed.
All right, Dark Master Gaming, what's up?
What's up, Dark
Hey,
Master?
Scryfall is probably my single greatest resource that I use. But I like what Hillbilly said, which is the first place that I generally go to is my friends. If you don't have friends, if you're trying to build something yourself, Scryfall is a good place, but you'd usually need to have an idea of what you're searching for. It depends on whether you're looking for something for a deck, you're looking for an effect, or whatever. So just putting a general question into Google is it. Or the other thing with Scryfall is they have a random feature. So you can just click on that button and it will pull up a card at random to show you if you're just looking for ideas. You can find them that way. Right. But usually I want a specific effect. So I'll type in the effect that I'm looking for. And then, like you said, Gatherer will come up and it will show you all the cards that continue that. Most of the search engines have that feature, but it's kind of like looking up a word in the dictionary. If I don't know how to spell the word, I don't know how to look the word up. You know what I mean? So like you can't find it. So by asking the question, what you want to do with the card, that's a good place to start.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a lot of cards that, I've been playing since 2016, but I started off on Standard. Didn't really get into Commander until Superfast introduced me to Commander. And then now I started playing Commander. And between 2016 to present, I did take some time off because I had no place to go to play Magic or anything. Then I found out about Arena, so I started playing Arena, and that's how I started playing. That's how I got back into my Magic, is through Arena.
All right.
There's a lot of cards I don't know the names of.
That makes sense. One thing I want to point out: the first thing I do when I'm looking for cards, the first thing I do when I look at a commander and I'm like, this commander seems fun. First thing I do, and it takes me down a rabbit hole, is go through my collection of cards to see if there's anything that fits his name. And that's sometimes hours of work. Like,
I was gonna say, you do that, and then your wife obviously won't see you for the next month or so.
Well, it's funny. See that, like I'm gonna shut out my son here. My son for Christmas got me this carrying case, right? It has a couple decks in it. The deck boxes, not decks. Well, one's actually a deck I'm working on. It's a teamer deck. But it has this little space thing right here that can hold cards, right? He brought it to me so I can put deck boxes in and carry it to my local LGS. But the thing is, this box is too big for my backpack, right? It's too big. But I learned that it's really good when you're going through cards, because, when you're looking to build a deck, you need this many cards, but you find this many cards. And this box is big enough I can store the cards I'm looking through in here. And I actually turn this into my deck building box.
Nice. I was going to ask what you do with your cards in the meantime, because you always wind up with an overflow and a stack of maybe possibilities. It's like I've got a commander deck, but then I have a sideboard of cards that I really want to put in there or might go in there. So I've got piles of cards all around the house.
Look, Twiddler, what's up?
I came up when I did my little deck tech for my Egger Markov deck. That video actually lasted 2 hours. Didn't realize it was going to take me, 2 hours to do it. Of course, it's the first first commander deck that I've ever built. I mean, I did have a shell from a prior Orzhov vampire deck, but that's all I had. I mean, Edgar Markov does have red in it, so I, still having to take cards out, add that in, add red to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how it
some
works.
red vampires to go in there. Some red vampires to add.
Ooh, that blood crazy neonat foil.
It is a foil. Thank you for noticing. You see,
that's my favorite vampire from the set for limited reasons. Yeah,
nice.
But anyways, well, because that's the promo art that you showed there.
Yep,
I know. I have it a long time ago. But anyways,
I'm looking for this card too.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, what was I going to say? So, deck building is a process, Hillbilly, and the best way to start with deck building is to look for your win cons. Right. Like I know you have 4 win cons in your deck, and they basically the same thing twice. And, 4 ways to pull it out, but you want a couple big creatures, and you want to understand where your win cons rate. Your win con is not only creatures, but it's creatures dying because you got the life gain stuff, like life lost, life gain, right? So you kind of get your win cons in a nutshell put together. Then you think, how am I going to get to these win cons? Well, I'm going to draw cards and ramp. And you're like, okay, I'm going to draw cards and ramp. What kind of cards do I got to draw? What kind of cards do I got to ramp? And like your colors are hard to ramp, so having a card like Solemn Simulacrum in your deck might not be a bad idea, right? But having ways to draw and fix your mana is pretty good because, like, if you can't ramp, you want to fix your mana, right? The 2 trimes you want, good choices. Fixing your mana as fast as possible is really good. Then once you got those 3 things lined up, your draw, your ramp, or mana fixing, and your win cons, then you think, how do I protect my strategy? You're like, I need removal spells and board wipes, right? Then when you got your removal spells, board wipes, draw, ramp, and win cons, then you think, how do I add to this? Well, how to like sometimes you want a card like I showed you, Rakdos' Return, red and black and X. Target player discards this card's X cards and loses X life. Good card. In my teamer deck, when I built my teamer deck, I was thinking I need big creatures to win because that's how I want to win. But I need like at least 1 or 2 fireball effects in my deck, so if I can burn someone out if I need to late game, which is how I won that last game, is burning fireballing from the graveyard Devil's Play the opponent who was winning.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think about deck building. Is I always look at the win cons, and I look at the draw, mana fixing, and ramping. And then I look at the removal spells and board wipes. And anything else I call filler. That's like the fillers. Now, a piece of advice is if you have a theme going on, try to find removal and draw spells in your theme, right? Like there's a card called Damnal Pact, which would be excellent in your deck, right? It costs 2 black and X, and it says target player draws X card and loses X life. That's good because it's a black fireball, right? If someone's milling themselves out and they're low on their deck, you can mill them out instead of you by making them draw. It's called backdoor mill. Or if you need to draw some cards, you're willing to lose some life at the time, especially when you're running some lifelink. You're like, I'll draw 5 cards, lose 5 life, and just gain that life back through combat. Whew, sorry, I derailed the conversation about deck building, but I wanted to help you out there.
Who knew that one question was going to lead to so much discussion? Because again, the first thing I did when you mentioned a card name I'd never heard before, first thing I did went straight to Scryfall, type it in, boom, pulled it up on screen. I can see what it is, what it does, and most importantly, in Scryfall, it'll tell you what formats it's legal in.
Right, which is pretty cool. Really cool. Yeah. So yeah, pretty awesome. Like that topic was huge. The question of the day. Like I made that up on the spot.
Yep.
I'm like, I need a question of the day. So I backed out of here and I'm like, I got my phone, made the question of the day, uploaded it. I'm like, didn't think it would go so deep. But that's because the conversation led it that way, and it was pretty cool. It was all natural, Yeah, Billy, all natural in the moonshine sky. All right. But anyways, as much ado, I digress.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Moves, the strategies, and the flair. Super fast tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes.
Well, now we're on the topic of the day. The topic of the day has kind of been led up by everything, even though the topic of the day is a little bit different compared to the story, because we talked about TCG players selling cards and deck building. But now we're talking about the topic of the day. Now I need to get to the monologue that I have set aside, because there's a monologue that will open up. And yesterday, Tabal reached out to me to ask me a question, and I'm like, I can't answer you right now. I'm in the middle of a game. Playing the game of Magic is the best. Game of Magic the Gathering is the funnest part of collecting Magic. It is the best part of Magic the Gathering. I got to play in-store with people in person, and the inspiration hit me. Magic is better played than just discussed. Rolling searches, interactions, and people's responses of an in-person play is amazing. The lively conversations that are had in person over spelltable is just awesome. Now, I love spelltable, but playing with in person, it's a different experience. The expressions on people's faces and their body languages expressed change everything, and that is amazing. I had music in my ear, like a little earbud in my ear, playing some music quietly, so I can hear everybody, but also entertain myself. We were drinking sodas and flavored waters. It was awesome. Playing on spelltable is fun, but you are alone in the room you're in. Playing in person, you are socializing and confronted with gameplay around every corner. And all the small interactions just make the game so much fun and alive. It made me feel really good, and I wish everyone got that same joy in their games of Magic Gathering. Let's go. All right. So, like yesterday, it was so fun. Like I didn't win any of the games I played, but the interactions were amazing. Like the first game we played, everybody was playing about equal power decks, which was amazing. Even though one person was exploding, like they're like playing their deck and they got like the most optimized hand their deck can get. And they're like, my deck doesn't normally play this fast. I'm like, dude, your Merfolk deck just exploded because he's playing Hackball. He played 1 mana, Soul Ring, Signet, and with the Signet cast a Arbor Elf or something. Not Arbor Elf, but like a Llanowar Elf. In his Merfolk deck, he played he just ramped like crazy. Like it was on first turn. He expended most of his hand. Then every card he drew, he's able to play about everything. You know?
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
But anyways, and like the game was back and forth mainly between them. There's 4 players there, but it was mainly between me and him going to get each other, maintaining the other 2 boards as we're going. And believe it or not, that game would have went his way if I didn't board wipe twice.
I believe it. I believe it 100%.
Behold the power of the board wipe.
That's right. It was ridiculous. But yeah, his friend ended up winning the game, like one of his friends, because it was me with a group of people who were friends already. And the person I was playing with was a friend of my wife's from work, and we were interacting, and we got to meet new people. I got to meet new people, got to have conversations. In fact, my study of the game, like when I was playing the first game, as I was watching my friend's game, he played all his ramp. He had no draw spells, so he's top decking for a bit. And I'm like, it's pretty sad since you ramped all out, but you're not drawing spells. And he's like, ha, I got this card off the top of my deck, and it was Windfall.
Wow.
That's a good top deck. But you stressed one of the most important parts, what I think is when you're playing casually and stuff, and everybody gets a chance to do something and stuff. And when it goes around the table, those are always the best games. It's not always about winning. It's not about having to win. It's about being able to play and see what other people's on. I can be happy when other people do their thing and pop off. And it's best when everybody gets a chance to do that, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
The funnest part about game one, the first game we had, was even though I didn't win, everybody at the table had their time to explode their deck. Like their deck just exploded on the table, and everybody got to take care of it. Like I was playing my 5-color dinosaurs deck, and even though I got screwed with that windfall at the beginning of the game because I had a handful of tri-lands, right? Like 5 tri-lands, so I was set. Then he windfalled me, and I lost some of my speed, and it took me a bit, but still. I got to explode on the table with a Maelstrom Wanderer. I had more fun on the battlefield. I had Joda on the battlefield.
Wow. Uh-oh. I think he transported himself back to that time. There he is.
Right. Transported myself back to that time. But anyways, I had that tutor man that costs 2 green and a white, and you get to search your library for 3 creature cards to put on top of your library. Right?
Nice.
At the same time, I had a Teamer Ascendancy out, and I was going to stack my creatures so I could just play 3 free dinosaurs on my turn. You know,
wow. Nice.
So, and that's how I exploded. Hackball exploded by making Merfolk's big, and he had Island Walk, and I had islands in a 5-color deck. You know, this other guy, his deck was playing squirrels or green black squirrels. And his deck exploded. He almost had a combo off where he had like an infinite sack cycle with Toski.
Wow.
But that got taken care of. Then this other guy, the 4th player, he exploded with like he was playing like assassins, and sadly he got screwed by not having the red mana he needed. Which I know he had a Ruinous Ultimatum in his hand, but I just didn't tell him because he was flashing his hand at me on accident. I just pretended like I didn't see it. Like he was he exploded because he had this combo in his hand he's waiting to play. Well, he just needed that red land for it. Where if these 2 assassins deal combat damage, he won the game. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the interactions was amazing. Like, I know it's kind of sad to be excited about someone moping, but one person was moping for a bit about the red land. The other person was just so concentrated on building his deck and like building his strategy up. And Hackball player was like just up and down. It's like, I built my board white. Built my board white.
So you said a couple of things that I think are important and might get overlooked, but I appreciate the fact that you were at least being honorable and not playing with the information that you shouldn't have had, and you're reading the room. You know what I mean? That's something else that you get when you sit down at the table. You get a chance to see other people's interactions and how they're feeling and how they're going, and adjust your play accordingly and stuff. Right. I think that's a skill that a lot of people need, or it's good to develop, is seeing what's going on, and more important than winning than anything else. And this is probably why I lose as often as I do. But you know what I mean? It's about having a good time, and it's not about throwing a game or anything else or whatever, but it's about enjoying the time that you have. A lot of times when people get out, and I understand this, and I have a feeling I'm going to understand it even more when I get to Arizona. A lot of people, this is the only night they get out. This is the only time, maybe once a month or maybe once a week, that they get a chance to get out and play. So to sit on somebody else or just to stomp them or whatever isn't like, you can get wins whenever you want or whatever, but playing a good game, playing a fun game, that to me is what's more important than anything else and stuff.
Yep.
Getting a chance to see stuff.
Oh yeah, it's how you treat the situation. Like yesterday, I was having so much fun. I lost because I was ignoring a rules interaction. Right, I had a 12/12 double strike infect creature on the battlefield who kept getting blocked by 10/10 commander. Wow. It was a 2 mana commander that had the background where it says commanders control of base power 10/10.
Oh, giants! Raise the giants.
Right, and every time I attacked him, the commander would die before the second strike. Right, and the infect damage would just kill my opponent. Well, he was blocking the damage and just letting the double strike just hit the creature. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. This interaction where I just keep attacking this one person is just fun because there's 3 people in this game, and if I attacked one person, which is a creature I stole from, right, stole a creature from was a dragon, 10/10 dragon. I stole from him. If I attacked him and got him out, I'd lose my creature. So I'd attack the other player. And like, even though he would have died first, I was just like, this interaction where I'm just attacking him was fun because he had to pay like 14 mana for this creature at one point.
Wow.
Wow.
Just to stay alive. Because his commander was that Grizzly Willy that refined Grizzly card. That's a 2/2 for 2 mana with Vigilance Reach.
Okay.
And my creature had hexproof. It had I stole the creature with corrupted conscience, so I now gained control of it. Gave it an effect. Then I had shielding plaques on it to give it hexproof, so the creature couldn't be targeted. Because Refined Grizzly would come in as a 10/10 and he tried fighting him and said, well, you can't target my creature because I have hexproof. He's like, but anyways, the point is, when I was reading the room is I was having fun not winning the game, right? I was having fun with the interaction of the game. Like honestly, the first strike damage should have killed this creature, and the second strike damage would have killed him.
Yeah.
But since I was just having a blast hanging around with people and just letting the double strike damage just hit the creature twice, basically, not like the rules would say it, I was having a fun blast. I ended up losing that game because the guy who I stole the creature from was playing 5-color dragons. He ended up building up his board. Like, all I needed was an Aqueous form to win that game. And I wasn't worried about it. I had tutors in my hand. I wasn't playing the tutors. But so like it's like when like my wife taught me a long time ago. Like, sometimes it's not about winning the game. Sometimes it's about enjoying the game and letting other people enjoy it with you.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, what's some experiences you guys had with the game?
Well, I've had good and I've had bad. I mean, it depends on the players. I mean, you can meet a player, for example, before I go into this, attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Directly down on attitudes. Go into a game expecting to have fun. You run across somebody having a bad day and having an attitude. Don't make the game fun.
This is true. Like, we recently had a spelltable game where one person's attitude affected the entire tables.
Mm-hmm.
We dealt with it. We just went along with it, but it really affected the way people played. And that's what's an interesting thing about playing in person is being able to read the room.
Yep.
You don't get to do that on spelltable very much because you don't get to see someone's face or reaction. You don't get that socializing aspect of physically interacting visually with how someone is acting or feeling. All you see is a pair of hands and cards on the table.
Right.
Sometimes just a head in a jar.
Hey, I hope that means you're feeling better.
No, I'm sick as a dog. A glorious dog. Glorious dog.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Oh, I was just watching from backstage.
Yeah. But I mean, people's attitudes can affect a game drastically.
Right.
I mean, it's just a game. You might be having a bad day, but if you go to LGS or you have friends over and play a game, try not to have an attitude. I mean, enjoy the game.
Right.
That's why I popped in. That's why I popped in, just to tell everybody to be good heads. That's the only reason why I popped in. I had to interrupt my being sick to pop in and say, you all need to be good heads. I hear that I pop onto the channel, hear that you guys are having arguments at the LGS. Not going to happen. I'm going to put you on grounded. If I see that, I'm going to ground you. You're not going to go. You're going to have 2 days in the corner for not being good heads. I had to pop in to tell you guys to be good heads.
Right. Good heads. Be good people, good stewards. Like, one thing I think a lot of people don't understand is they need to get out of their own head when they're playing Magic the Gathering or when they're socializing, right? Because it's like, I've been there, and it's when you're depressed, feeling bad about yourself or something, or something's got you refined, you're stuck in your head, right?
Yep.
You know, it's hard to think past yourself. Like one of the things I had to learn to do a lot being bipolar and learning I was bipolar and how I act is thinking about how people perceive me, you know? And so like times I'll be having a conversation like the other day, I was having a conversation about my wife. Well, not about my wife, with my wife. And she asked me a question about something. And I tried making it sound, and I just woke up and I tried to make it sound like a surprise this thing happened, whatever he was talking about. The way I said it sounded like I was being grumpy. So, and after I woke up, grabbed my cup of coffee, and woke up a little, I realized what I sounded like. So I went over to her and apologized, explained to her what I meant, what I was trying to do, or trying to inference is the surprise of something more than being angry, and because sometimes that's how it is. You know, it's easy to think about ourselves than it is to think about other people. But when you're socializing, you know, trying to read the room, you're not trying to make yourself a good image, so to say, but you're trying to project energy that you care about how people think about you, you know, and how you think about other people, because people like it when they feel like you care about their presence and how they're feeling. You're right. Like you don't know how everybody's gonna feel all the time, but you try to care like you want them to have a good time and enjoy the show. Because I've been in a room where people had bad times. Like I remember a long time ago, like over 12 years ago, I was playing a pre-release and this guy was having a bad time, and he just started skulking and started talking about how he sold his soul to the devil and his devil's his best friend, and he's trying to spook people out. And everybody kept telling him, you know, you just need to change your attitude. You need to be better. You need to not be better at the game, but be in a better place. And you know, you can't skulk if you're having a bad time. You just need to remove yourself from the situation and have a good exercise of something. You know, like maybe you need to eat. Maybe you just need to quit, you know, for the night, because sometimes it's too much. Because our mentality can affect other people. We don't think about that all the time, that the way we're feeling protrudes other people's essences, and how we portray ourselves is not always the way we think of ourselves. So it's always good to see how other people are reacting to us, or maybe we're the problem, not them. You know?
Can I add to that for a second?
Yeah.
Not only are we the problem, not them. That's a double-edged sword, by the way. I'm sorry, I don't sound well. I'm super sick. I just wanted to like get in the last part of this conversation. That's why I popped in earlier. But it's a double-edged sword. It goes both ways. Also, don't be that guy who, if somebody's already told you and your friend or your friends that they're not acting right, you know, because if you're that guy and you've like, look, I've already told you once this game. I'm like, because some people, it's like once you've told them once, now they're going to get in their head further and they're going to try to be fixing themselves. Mm-hmm. And if you hound them and say, look, you know, the more you say it, the more that person's going to get in your head.
Right. And you sometimes you need to break yourself. Sometimes you need to help them take a break. Because sometimes what really needs to happen in certain situations, in social situations, you need to remove yourself from the situation to self-assess instead of being stuck in the situation and brewing in it. Mm-hmm. You know,
right. But what I was just trying to get at though is that sometimes the person that's pointing it out can make it worse.
Oh, well, yeah, it's also how you point it out. You're right.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. So sometimes the person pointing, just the fact that the person points out that somebody's being grouchy, cranky, or you obviously woke up on the wrong side of the bed, even as a way to joke about it to get the person to calm down a little bit, that can even make it worse. It's just, it all depends on who's being approached, how they're being approached, and by whom.
Right. Like one of the skills you have to do when you're going to be interacting with people socially is learning how to read a room correctly, assess your own behavior correctly, and have a good time and try to portray a good time and keep a healthy environment. And a healthy environment is not always the most savory environment to be in, but sometimes the healthier environment sometimes excludes you for a minute, you know?
Yep.
You know,
I remember my first pre-release I went to, which was Kaladesh. And from my understanding, and I guess I misunderstood the way it was played and everything. Because you go to the pre-release, you get your cards, make a deck, then you'll play it. Well, from my understanding, you just use the cards that you get from pre-release to make the deck, and you battle with it.
Right.
Well,
right.
That was my understanding. Well, there was these two guys there that me and my buddy went up against. They brought their own decks. They edited their decks with their pre-release cards. Then we battled. Well, me and my buddy, we told them, we didn't get smart. We didn't get hateful or anything. We told them, we said, we thought this pre-release was only supposed to be the cards that we get and not a deck from, so and so. And they was like, oh, I didn't know it was, and they told us, they said, I didn't know that's supposed to been like that. And they didn't get smart. They didn't get hateful or nothing. So we both all four of us just conceded. And we both we got, we won packs of cards and all that. And nobody was mad or nothing. And, that was a good game. Just not even playing the game, but it was still great interaction because of what happened.
Right. Whew. But anyways,
easier to do in person.
Breathe, relax. The subject got a little heavy there, but it happens. Sometimes it's what we need to hear. Sometimes we don't know we need to hear it.
Right.
But we are at a point where we're going to hit this button.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Wow, we had a good discussion there. Today was a nice filled day of conversation.
Oh yeah,
friends being awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I read a private chat. Oh, too late. Right. Anyways, we got to get to the show section. We're going to start chilling. We're going to start with the Tybalt's Apprentice. Boop, boop.
I feel like we already shilled everything that we should shill for me. I'm just going to say thank you for having me. I truly appreciate being on here and stuff. It's always good to hang out with you guys. Look for me on Instagram. That's the place to find Tybalt_Apprentice. That's where you can find me. The store is Dark Ritual on TCG Player. Yeah, that's it. Find me on Arena occasionally, sometimes on Twitch. Anybody that has any questions about wanting to start to sell themselves, not sell themselves, let me correct that. Want to sell magic cards on TCG Player. If you have any questions like that, you're free to email me, Matt Saxon, MADSAXXON at yahoo.com. Just hit me up directly or DM me on Instagram. If you have any questions, I'll happily share my knowledge with you. So if there's anything I can do to help, I can't guarantee anything. I'm not a professional, but I'm more than happy to help any way I can.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And now we're going to roll over to Hal Willer.
Hey, how is everyone? I hope you're all doing well. Tonight is normally Minecraft Mondays in Procrasticraft. However, I have not had a chance to confer with my fellow procrastinator because they've only just appeared in Discord and things because due to being sick. So I'm not sure if that's happening tonight. If it is, links will be sent out as normal. So you just have to look for that. Otherwise, tomorrow's Tuesday, so there should be a new Pokemon video out. Can't think at the moment which pack it is, but it's Pokemon. And then it will be Simulation Tuesday, where there is still time to vote on my Discord as to what game we're playing. Yeah. I'm playing.
Boop, boop.
But it's train related.
Train related, choo choo. And then maybe it's a train simulator where you're driving train across the country for hours.
Cool.
No, not the train driving simulator. No, I haven't got that one.
All right. Now we're gonna hop on from Hellwiller all the way to KJ Head in the Jar.
Hey, I guess he's giving us the moving full because he ain't feeling good. That's understandable.
It's called a mute button, but I am not feeling well. But there will be Minecraft Monday today, as I cannot lay in bed all day long. It is just horrible. I don't know how people can do this be sick thing. I can't do it. Yeah, so there will be Minecraft Monday. Wednesday, Procrastinating Across the Oceans. Jesse and I are going to be exploring our lore a little bit further. Last time we explored lore, we looked at what ChatGPT thought of our lore. This time we're going to take what we liked about our lore and we're going to let chat. You guys are going to help suggest a few things. And then we're going to enter that into our lore, have ChatGPT rewrite it, and then we're going to take the best things out of that and add it to the original lore. Plus, on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of our favorite concepts in like other IPs for lore. On Wednesday night, join Jesse and I for Procrastinating Across the Ocean. It's going to be another lore dive.
Cool.
Sounds awesome. Check it out. Links in the chat and in the description below. So yeah, if you want to get to the Balt's store, his link's in the description below too. So it's easier just to go scroll down there, click on that link, and go shopping. And shopping, we're gonna Hillbilly.
Yeah, that's the way I went to a store yesterday. I clicked on one of the videos here, and then I scrolled all the way down till I got to Dark Ritual. So it's
I found a store when I went shopping. I'm like, store, what?
Oh, yeah.
It's in the description below, so it's there.
Oh yeah, I'm glad it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, first of all, I didn't know you could. So you can't sell yourself.
No, you can't. They frown on that. I found that out on eBay. Wait, no.
Wow.
What I mean is,
how about rental of yourself? Rental. Be kind. Rewind.
Anyway, I'll be doing a 2:00 stream today. Now on the 5th, there is going to be early access streamer events. So I will be doing that. And it starts at noon, but I probably won't be able to do it till around maybe 3, 4, 5, somewhere along there. But if you're subscribed to my channel and you get that bell notification clicked, then you'll be notified when I go live. But as far as tomorrow, probably will not be a stream tomorrow. I may have to step away from the internet for good, not for good, but just for tomorrow. I may have to step away from the internet because I've got to take some medicine. Don't know what kind of interaction I have with this medicine. It may keep me away from the internet. But other than that, that's all I got going on for the next 3 days.
Woo-woo. Yeah, because you got that appointment coming up. Good luck with that when you get there for sure. I hope you do well tomorrow. Captain Waffles, hey.
What's up, Captain Waffles?
Better late than never. You're just in time to hit that like button. Whoop, whoop. It would have been awesome to have you on the channel, on the chat too. Sorry. I know you're working. But anyways, today's Monday, so there's no show tonight. Nothing going on tonight. Mondays and Tuesdays, no shows because it's wife's day off. I hang out with the wife. Today we got to take care of the sink. We'll get all that stuff done. We're going to have fun. We're going to have game night tonight. In fact, I heard we're having Papa Murphy's pizza tonight for dinner, so I'm excited. So ecstatic.
Gotta appreciate some good take and bake pizza.
Hell yeah.
Are you Papa Murphy?
So keep an eye out in the next day or two, or before Wednesday. So either today or tomorrow, I'm gonna try to figure out a couple games I want to try playing Wednesday because I got to start a new game since Transformers is over. Boom. And I'm gonna try to put up a community vote to see who wants to watch what played.
Now you weren't supposed to finish Transformers. I was enjoying watching that.
game. Like very aggravating at times, but fun. I love that style of gaming. So I'll put up a post either today or tomorrow about it to see if we get a good vote. So Captain Waffle's like, "What's the like button?" It's the button you hit with a thumbs up. All right.
I thought it was the other one.
All right. Anyways, I want to thank everybody here on the show for joining us today, from Hillbilly, Hellwiller, KJ to Balt. You guys rock. You guys rule. Everybody in chat who stopped by to say hi. Everybody who liked the video. Everybody who subscribed. You guys rock. You guys roll. I want to thank you, everybody, for being here and supporting the channel, the memberships of the channel. I'll be doing a members only live in the near future, so keep an eye out on that. But I want to remind you that you're all awesome. You're all amazing. But I want to remind you even more that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day a little bit more, because you might be the change they need today. So with that in mind, everybody, if you're going to play a game of Magic the Gathering, play wise, my friend.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
The moves, the strategies, and the flair. Super fast tortoise is running the show. The crowd goes wild wherever he goes. Shall some go. The tortoise way. He's the one to watch, the king of MTG play.